August 1970. Rioting, rubber bullets and bombs. August 1970 had been a month of firsts. Elton John made his first U.S. appearance at the Troubadour, West Hollywood, Los Angeles, and in Northern Ireland a shiny new water cannon brought in by the British Army from Germany also made its first appearance. Rioting continued in Belfast, leading into August. In the early hours of the 1st of August, more than 50 petrol bombs were thrown at troops as rioting erupted for the second night in succession in the Catholic New Lodge area of Belfast. A cinema was burned and the army used its shiny new water cannon for the first time. The 2nd of August saw the introduction of rubber bullets by the British Army for riot control. Rubber bullets are rubber or rubber-coated projectiles that can be fired from standard or dedicated riot guns. They are intended to be a non-lethal alternative to metal projectiles. Like other similar projectiles made from plastic, wax and wood, rubber bullets may be used for short-range practice and animal control, but are most commonly associated with use in riot control and to disperse protests. The British developed rubber rounds, the round anti-riot 1.5-inch baton in 1970. A low-power propelling charge gives them a muzzle velocity of about 200 feet per second and a maximum range of about 110 yards. It's worth noting that between their introduction and their replacement with the plastic bullet in 1975, approximately 55,000 were fired by the army. The rounds were intended to be fired at the legs of rioters or the ground in front of rioters where the bullet would bounce, losing some of its velocity, and then hit the intended target. Often the weapons were fired directly at people at close range, and on a number of occasions at totally innocent civilians. These weapons were to result in several deaths and serious injuries during the Troubles. As rioting and unrest continued throughout Belfast in August, our favourite British Home Secretary, tongue firmly in cheek, Reginald Maulding, threatened to impose direct rule on Northern Ireland if the agreed reform measures were not carried out. This would not be the first or last time this would be used as a threat in Northern Ireland. On the evening of the 11th of August, 2 RUC officers based in Crossmaglen, Samuel Donaldson, 23, and Robert Miller, 26, went to investigate a red Ford Cortina abandoned on the Lissarour Road near the village. Unknown to the officers, the car contained a booby-trap bomb, made up of 20 pounds of gelignite. It exploded when one of the officers attempted to open one of the car doors, badly wounding them and blowing them over a hedge. The blast was heard from Crossmaglen RUC station. The officers died of their wounds the next day. They were the first members of the security forces to be killed by Republicans during the conflict. The car had been stolen outside the Ardmore Hotel in Newry on the 7th of August. The action was planned and executed by an active service unit, made up of IRA members from Navan, County Meath, and Inniskeen, County Monaghan, both in the Republic of Ireland. The killings led to a heated exchange of views on both sides of the border over responsibility for security in the area. Politicians in the north, and indeed in Britain, accused the Irish government of allowing terrorists to operate freely along the border, and maintained that the explosion that killed the 2 officers was prepared in the Republic and moved across the border. This accusation annoyed the Irish government and civic leaders in the Republic, who maintained that there was no evidence that the bomb was prepared in the Republic. On Friday, the 21st of August, the Social and Democratic Labour Party was established. The first leader of the party was Gerry Fitt, and the deputy leader was John Hume. Other prominent members included Paddy Devlin, Austin Curry, Ivan Cooper, Paddy O'Hanlon, and Paddy Wilson. The party effectively took over most of the various nationalist and Labour Party groupings and became the main political voice of nationalists in Northern Ireland until Sinn Féin began to contest elections in the early 1980s. Minister of Home Affairs Robert Porter resigned from the Stormont government on Wednesday, the 26th of August. The official reason was given as health, but Porter later said that he had not been consulted about the Falls Road curfew. Initially, Northern Ireland Prime Minister Chichester Clark took over responsibility for Home Affairs, but later appointed John Taylor, who was very critical of the reform programme. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tales of the Troubles. To ensure you never miss an episode, please click the follow button and enable notifications. If you have family or friends who would also like this podcast, please share. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we take a closer look at September 1970.